All right, so I'm going to do a quick tutorial here of Sleeper. I'm going to do one for the desktop version, and then I'm going to do one quickly for the mobile. Sleeper is primarily geared towards making a fantasy football platform that is very, very user-friendly. I've come to find that it is exceeding expectations in that area. That's why I would prefer to move all my leagues there. I like Sleeper significantly better because, as we know, we all use our phones. It's without question the most easy to maneuver around on the phone. But for those of you that like desktop, it's very easy as well. I'm just showing a preview here. I'm going to use my Dynasty Team League as kind of the instructional video. As you see here, we have a draft coming up. All right, so I am in a mock draft right now. Again, I want to just show you this. You can see right here, the nice thing about a draft board in Sleeper is they're color coordinated by position. So here we see Jonathan Taylor and DeAndre Swift. They're both running backs. Just like if you do an in-person draft with the sticker boards, the color scheme goes along with the position. So if I open up what is the area here, you can see that there's three different things we can do. There's a queue, which I'll show you how to do. There's a roster. You can look at your current roster. So for here, we have quarterback, 2 running back, etc. Depending on what league it is, that should look the same. The color matches here to the positions that are around here. Then chat as well. Okay, so the chat, like if I wanted to say something or I want to talk to someone, I can just send messages. Additionally, I can mention people by doing the @ sign and then whatever their Sleeper name is. I can look at the top here to see what it is if I just want to use that. Also, if you have something that you want everybody to see, so example, this pick is on the board and I wanted to tag everybody, I can just send that. Now, queuing players. If I look over here and I'm not picking right now and I know someone I really want, I want them to be here so it's very easy for me to remember them. Let's say Henry Ruggs, and I click this button here. I can see that he's in my queue, so I won't need to remember who it is. The moment that that player is drafted, if it's not by me, they disappear. Right here, I can also click and drag to reassign the order of my players as well. If I get on the clock and I want to pick a player, I just hit this plus button right here. Now, there's a bunch of different information. You can sort it as well. So if I want to look at, how many points are they projected? If I want to look at how many average points they're projected. Again, you can see that the color goes along with the position. It really ranks it by whatever you click. So if I want to look at ADP or who's the highest average drafted player, I can look here. I have Joe Burrow followed by Tua Tagovailoa and etc. So that is the draft board. Now let's maneuver around Sleeper and kind of see what's going on. So if you see what I'm scrolling through right now, that's my league chat. So if I'm scrolling through here, I can see all these things. I can react to specific comments. If you want to like a comment, all these other different things, you can do that. Any move that happens, so a trade, a dropping, a free agency pickup, anything is going to be right here in the league chat. So look at this. I just made a trade for AJ Green in one of my leagues. You can see here people are commenting back to it. You can also see if someone wants to give someone a nickname or put someone on the board, the trading block. That's the coolest feature about this. Now, if I look here, I can see all the teams that are in my league. So I have myself, and then I have all these other people that are in the league. If I want to look at my own roster, I can click here, and I can see all of these players. Knowing it's a Dynasty league, I can also see my future picks. Again, this is only if you're doing Dynasty. Very easy for me to move someone into a specific position. If you would have someone on an IR that is not IR eligible, it's not going to even let you swap someone in. Or if you're over the roster limit, you're going to have to make a move before you can actually adjust your lineup. If I want to change my team name, I can also do that very easily here. If I want to propose trades, I can click that here, and then I can go and find whoever it is I want to trade with. It even says at the top here what their strongest area is. You know, if you're looking to grab a quarterback and you want to find a team that has a lot of quarterbacks, you can find that by maneuvering around here. So if I click on one and I do next, then it comes to this area here. We have 2 teams. First thing it's going to ask is who I want to acquire. So I'm able to see their roster and I can click whoever I think would be appropriate to pick up. And then I can do the exact same for them. I propose a trade and then they get it. Now, also, if you want to see the league settings, they're right underneath the teams right here. So we have number of teams, we have rosters, we have number of playoffs, what the waiver types are, and when waivers run. Anything related to importance of the league is here. Scoring is right underneath that as well. Now, if I look at this right-hand toolbar, that's going to be kind of cool. The first area is trending. So I can see all of the players that have been added the most across leagues. So right here, Carlos Hyde has been added in 13,000 leagues. That is in the last 48 hours. So you can see some players that are on the rise. You can also see the players that are trending down, players that have been dropped the most. So Marshawn Lynch, there was a rumor that the Seahawks were interested in him, and then it fizzled out. So people start dropping him. Then you have this area here for available. So you can see all the players that are available. You can look at projections. You can look at actual cold cut stats. You can also look on a year-by-year basis. You can look on a week-by-week basis. You can click on any of these areas to sort. You can sort by positions. There's also a search tool here. It's all in one area. The rankings is to look at who is the best players at specific positions in overall points. Example, last year, Lamar Jackson was the #1 player in our league's settings with 488 points. I can do that by position as well, as I kind of talked about. Watch list. So I can see here I have a ton of players on my watch list. Whether that be that I'm looking to potentially trade for them, whether it be a free agent that I may be interested in the upcoming weeks. Then we also have a score area. Again, it's the off season, but you're able to see all of the scores of NFL games. You can click it and track them. Additionally, right here on the main page, when the season's going, you're going to be able to see your scores. You can also go ahead on this score area and you can look at all of these positions in terms of who's the highest scorer right now on the week of that specific position. I can look on a week-by-week basis as well. That's kind of it in terms of the desktop version of Sleeper. I'm going to merge this together with the mobile version, and you'll be able to see the differences as well as the similarities. So this is a preview video of the mobile version of the Sleeper app. So I'm going to X out here. I'm going to go to Sleeper. You can see this little robot app here in the corner. And for this video, again, I'm going to be using my Dynasty League to use as a tool. If I swipe left, notice I'm swiping left. Like I talked about with the desktop version, you can see that all of these areas are once again here. So I have my trending area, trending up, trending down. Now again, the league ads is like the number of leagues that are on Sleeper. So you can see that Carlos Hyde is a hot pickup. Why is that? Let me click on him. The Eagles are interested in Carlos Hyde. Well, the moment that someone finds out about that, they're going to rush to the waiver wire and maybe pick him up. Now, available, same thing goes here. I can also go ahead and I can filter, once again, by ADP, average draft position, projections of that player, and stats. I can go year by year. Notice on the mobile, it can go all the way back to 2016. On the computer, you can only go to 2018. I've mentioned it before that it's more user-friendly on the phone since it is an app. However, it's still very compatible with the desktop. Scores, so here we see the Super Bowl score. All right, so if I look here, and this is the main page. So my main page, it's very similar to the computer. We have this area here, it talks about draft. So we can see that my draft is linear, which means it does not snake around. Whoever has the one pick has the one pick in every single round. how many rounds it is, how long of a timer it is. So in this draft, we have 10 minutes. On the phone now, I did show you on the computer how you can mock draft. On the phone, it's much more convenient. If I push the button and I start a mock draft, it's going to apply all of the league settings into this mock draft. So it's very, very realistic. Additionally, you can claim the spot you're going to be in, and you're really the manager. If you put in the draft settings no timer on, then you can assign specific picks. You don't need to go ahead and just let the computer do an auto pick. You don't have to do that. Also, you can invite people to join your mock draft. So let's say that I wanted to do this rookie draft. I'm going to claim the one spot, and I wanted to invite someone. I can just go ahead and I can copy the link, and I can text it to someone. So that's this little button here. You can see that with the mock draft. It's very convenient. So let's go ahead and start it here. I'm on the clock. Okay, this is only 4 rounds. I take McCaffrey. And then notice that it just does the mock draft accordingly. Now, I mentioned on the computer how you can look at teams. So if I go on my team, notice I have trade here. And then if I have any trade offers coming in, I would be able to look at it here. I see that I have no trades I've sent or received. I also have no waiver claims in. But I can see here all of my past trades I've either done, I've rejected myself, or I've sent to someone and they've rejected it. I can go back and I can look at all these details. That's super cool for if you're trying to do a counter offer, or if you want to screenshot and roast one of your friends for a preposterous offer. So if I look at my team here, you can see again, look, it's all color coded. And then I see here I have their score. If I look at Lamar Miller here, you see that little red arrow. That means that they're trending down. A lot of people are dropping him. Now for dynasty owners, notice here that there's an area called Taxi Squad. So they're rookies and you put them here. It's essentially like in the NFL, a practice squad. Let's say, I'm just going to go with an example here. Okay, so Alan Lazard. I know he's not a rookie, but let's say, for example, he was. I can move him to my taxi squad, but you can see here where I'm moving him. Taxi squad's not available because he's not a rookie. Taxi squad is somewhere you can stash someone for the duration of the season, as long as they're a rookie. If they're just like a prospect or someone that you're interested in, you drafted, you picked up undrafted, and you may roster them next year. They don't even cost a roster spot. That's the biggest advantage of a taxi squad. Here's the thing though, if I'm hosting a player on my taxi squad, the moment, let's say that they go off, A.J. Brown. I know my friend Randy, he drafted A.J. Brown in the 2nd round last year, and he's like, he's a 2nd round pick. I don't really think he's worthy of one of my roster spots yet. Before the season started, he put him on his taxi squad. A.J. Brown went off, and he pulled him from his taxi squad and he put him on his active roster. If he was at the roster threshold, he'd have to drop someone. In this case, if I take someone off the taxi squad, I can't put them back. The moment you take them off, they're on your roster for the rest of your duration of having that player. Now, for redraft leagues, dynasty leagues, those are the more important ones. Let's say that there's someone on your team, you're like, they're very valuable right now. I want to see what I can get for them. Let's go ahead and put them on the trading block. In the top right corner, you see this little gear, and you see all these different options that are here. Remember I said you could change your team name? Well, on the phone, you can also give these players nicknames. So if I look through my players here, and I stop at James Conner, notice I have the letters OTB. That means on the block. They're on the trading block. That's a great way for me to go ahead and notify people that they are available. So let's say, for example, I want to put AJ Green on the block. So I'm putting them on the block. I'm putting this in as it's a tutorial video so I don't actually get trade offers. I hit save, and I want to show you where it went. Notice in the bottom, that's where my chat is, right here. So I have here, it says my name, so the person that put him on the block, it says Bucks and Six updated a player's nickname. AJ Green is now on the block. So now all these people, and you can see the logos of the people that have seen it. Okay. So if they wanted to chat back and say, I am interested, you can do DMs on this. Okay, so look at that. If someone wanted to type something in and they wanted to contact me, I'm probably going to need to go look that they wanted to do it. Rather than me just sending trades back and forth, it'd probably be easier for me to have a conversation with that person. So that's a really good way for you guys to put someone on the trading block. Already told you guys about the settings. Notice also there's these little mascots. Usually if you're a new user, you get 2 free, but you can see that I can change my mascot depending on which one you guys get. It's usually randomized. So if I want to do trash can, I can give them a specific emotion. The cool thing about mascots, when you're in a matchup during the season, they interact with each other based off of how your team's doing. If your team's getting completely railed, they're going to have like a mad emoji face. You know, if they're doing good, they're going to have a happy face. I showed you that in this chat I am interested, check the DMs. If I go back here, I can see at the top, these are messages that I have. So if I go through here, I can see all these messages that I have. I can search for a specific person. So I'm looking for Randy. So notice I have all my chat here. I can message them. We can have trade discussions in the DMs. So it's really easy for me to do that. How do I start a new message? In the top right corner, I can go there. I can look for a username. Again, I'm going to use Randy as in my example. If I wanted to send him a message. If I go back to my league now, also I can see down here any league activity I want to go ahead and look at. I can see trades that actually happened, whether that be from my teams, whether that be from other teams around the league. Also, if I go to the settings here, there's some other things I can do. Now, a lot of mine is commissioner based, but if I wanted to go back in history and I wanted to look at draft results, I can go and I can do that. Doesn't matter if I'm a redraft or a dynasty league. I can look at my league's history. So I can look at win percentages. Randy and Ryan, for example, both have 69%. Nice. You can also see their all-time points that they've scored, transactions, messages, etc. You can also see all-time weekly high scores and when it happened. You can see all-time high scores. So Aaron Rodgers last year when he lit up the Raiders, 53.76. That's the all-time leading score in this specific league. I can go and I can look at the playoff matchups. I can see here that Randy beat Ryan in the finals. So a lot of good features here on that. So I hope this video helped, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.